Welcome to the lunchtime presentation. My name is Alexander. Some of you know me because I've been in the back. Jay refers to me as the guy who does his Facebook ads sometimes. This is my opportunity to be of as much value as possible. I have no offer and no sale to make to you today. That's too loud. As you can tell, we talked for 8.5 minutes about a Facebook pixel yesterday, and even that was complicated, and building a business is many of those tiny little pieces. So this is an opportunity for us to have a conversation about topics in your business related to you developing scale. So for you to achieve scale in a business, what I've observed is you require a culture. It's hard to build a business when your team members and your employees are engaging in unpredictable behaviors. How many of you understand that? Maybe some of your behavior is the most unpredictable at times. Obviously, there's also technology that's necessary. I've run an IT business for 10 years. And then there's this black hole called paid traffic acquisition in the land of marketing, which includes a whole range of fun terminology like product launch formulas, social media challenges, webinars and master classes, paid Facebook ads, Google ads, etc. So I have a team of 8 here in Calgary who all work in my basement together under one roof to solve most of those challenges. We make it a policy that we don't work in your business. We only work on it. We love to leave the in the business stuff up to you and your executive assistants and that type of thing. And I have built every type of funnel that you could list. By I mean we. And we have had to solve one of the world's most lucrative problems, which is the acquisition of traffic that actually turns into sales calls or sales appointments and then gives you hard-earned money. So what I would love to do is open the floor to Q&A. If you don't have Q&A, I'm going to just start somewhere until one of you has a question, because I guarantee you I can lead you to a question. So before we do that, does anyone have a question that's salient? Yeah, hop on the mic.
So I have a question, but I'm really worried that you're going to tell me that you won't answer it because it might be a little advanced. I want to know a little bit more about Google tagging. Because, so one of the platforms...
There's music. Can you turn on the music? Thanks.
One of the platforms that I use is called Funnelytics. I'm sure you've probably heard of it. And what I've looked at from the back end of really being able to look at my numbers and start predicting like where people are and what's happening in my funnels was all set up through doing that Google tagging. And which is great because now I can actually identify where the flow is coming in from, and it gives me the visual element for a woman that's like amazing, so I can actually watch it happening. But what I'm really becoming more aware of is that with the Google tagging, I could be doing a much better job of that. So I have my pixels installed, I have all of those elements on my ClickFunnels, on my website, on my blogs, like all of that. What I don't understand though is how the integration between Google tagging comes in the actual Google platform.
So that I can be specific on the terminology, are you referring to the UTM parameters?
Yes.
Okay, that's a perfectly reasonable question. So I'll restate the question though.
Yes, thank you.
Because the question I'm hearing is, how many of you have wondered if $1 that you dropped into Facebook, or $1 that you spent at a sponsorship event, or $1 that you spent on some campaign actually relates to a customer in your database who's given you money? So that's called attribution tracking or attribution mapping.
Yeah.
The challenge for most of us is that the user journey is not linear. The user does what a user will do, yeah. Right? Human behavior is unpredictable no matter what the medium is. And so the challenge for most marketers is you can hop into Facebook and set up paid campaigns, and they'll deliver really solid analytics like what was the impressions.
The click-through rate.
What was the link click-through rate?
Yeah.
And you can, if you have a custom conversion set up, you can see how many people converted, and then if you reverse engineer the link click-through rate against your conversions, you can come up with a page conversion rate. But you're copying that shit into a spreadsheet, or your executive assistant is, because Facebook stops at the click.
Yeah.
And then your custom conversion over here. And then once they're on your page, maybe you're using ClickFunnels or WordPress and you've got some built-in analytics, Google Analytics picks that up, or your page builder picks that up, and they might know, okay, this much traffic hit your page, this many people opted in, and then it jumps over here into Infusionsoft where they actually gave you money, and Infusionsoft is like, great, someone gave us money, but they don't know where the money came from.
And so that gap
How do we do that?
And so that's like what I was really excited about with Funnelytics is that I can see basically where my pages are. But I want to be able to get more precise with that.
Yeah, which requires foresight because you have to tag all your traffic in advance.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work, but from what I've done so far, it's been really worthwhile.
So let me just paint a picture for you guys.
Okay. Can I grab my notebook?
Yeah. No. You can have like 1 million sources of traffic. And then ultimately over here, you have one customer who gave you money. And so that journey that I've just painted for you can come from a multiple sort of segments. Even inside Facebook, you can have a Facebook campaign that's talking to multiple audiences. And inside these audiences, you can have multiple ads. And from a Facebook perspective, all of that data is useful because now you start to understand what messaging in your ad configuration relates to what audiences relating to your campaign objective. Is everybody tracking that? You have an objective for your campaign, but maybe different combinations of creative headlines and images is going to provoke them to click to the landing page. So the tool you're using is similar to other tools like Wicked Reports. There's systems out there that say, okay, we understand that Facebook and Google Analytics and Infusionsoft don't talk to each other. So let's integrate and let's do our best to track all that. But in order to track all that ahead of time, you have to then tag the traffic you're sending up here. You have to have the foresight to plan ahead where your traffic will be coming from because you tag that traffic. So when they click a Facebook ad, you're going to carry over what are called UTM parameters that say, okay, Warren, can you pull up, please, the Google Tag Manager or the UTM parameter generating tool?
You just made my day. This is amazing. Take notes, everyone, seriously.
Yeah, this is important. So when you decide to spend money, you've created a campaign. So campaigns are used as Facebook uses the word campaign to describe a certain technological component. I'm just going to use the word campaign as a concept, not as a technology. So in my world, a campaign is you putting effort into the world to drive an objective. I'm just going to define it as such. You putting effort into the world. So if you're a JVology sponsor, JVology sponsorship might be a campaign. If you're running Facebook ads and you're trying to convert people into an online program, it might be the online program sales campaign, okay? So in the Google campaign URL builder, you'll see they're asking for up to 5 different segments of data that you can use to track any particular link. So we start with the end in mind and we say, okay, I know somebody has achieved an objective when they buy this product or they check out. And we name the campaign as such. So I would start with the campaign name box, and it would be something like online course spring promotion. Okay? Because every different ad you run is going to be some subset within that, and you're trying to contain all of that to that one promotion. So I'm going to run a promotion. Whether I'm advertising on Facebook or Google or I meet people in person, I want all my data to be put in that one big bucket. The campaign bucket is the very first step. Then campaign source. Now these are just things that I've basically made best practice, but obviously you can interpret this and there's some wiggle room. This is literally like a big bucket for where this traffic came from. So I'd be typing literally, they put Google, we'd put Facebook. Facebook agnostic if it was paid ads or organic. I don't care. We're one step in. We started with the campaign objective. Now I'm buying traffic from Facebook. I'm buying traffic from Google. I have an email signature. Okay? So I would be putting email signature, something like that. Then inside the medium, you can be more specific. So Warren, can you go to measurablegenius.tv and go to one of our videos? So I have a platform. This is Measurable Genius TV. Pick any video, it doesn't matter. Every video I've ever published is on here. And so if there's a topic that you guys want to dive into, you can go watch them. So the reason I built my own platform is so I can do my own advertising. So you can see I have a banner ad up there. And if you scroll, Warren, there's a banner ad over there. Okay? So here's what's interesting. Mouse over that banner ad. There. So source, where I would have put Facebook, I put Measurable Genius TV. Okay? Then the campaign UTM medium, it's a banner ad. That's a banner ad. It's different than like a Facebook ad. So you might go Facebook, Facebook ad. If you're publishing links organic on Facebook, I might just put organic. Okay? Actually, just click it, Warren, so then it's up in the URL. So you'll see Measurable Genius TV, banner ad. Campaign is just Command and Conquer, because I'm always advertising it. I never stop. Can you keep scrolling for me? Term, right sidebar. So term is where I go to the next level, because now I've got multiple places on Measurable Genius TV where I might place an ad. So that's the right sidebar ad versus the above the fold hero image, right? And then the last one, which is content. Can you go back to the URL builder, Warren? Click the other tab. Content is where it literally says, here, use this to differentiate ads. So in the sidebar, I might have one that says, awesome business owners come to Command and Conquer. I might have another one that says, business owners who love to plan come to Command and Conquer. I might have another one that says, business owners who think long-term come to Command and Conquer. I might have another one that says, business owners who love to produce content come to Command and Conquer. And I would create a name for each of those variations, and therefore I would have a unique parameter for that. So what you'll find is that you end up with, I'll just draw in here, a campaign with multiple mediums or sources where I might then, like, those were called banner ads. So Facebook ad versus Facebook organic. Okay, whereas for Measurable Genius TV, it's a banner ad. Would be medium, right? And then content, that's where I went. Sidebar. And then the term is where you would go, the content of the ad in the sidebar. Right. So like, I would just be spreadsheeting this.
And then that way you can differentiate, And then that way you can differentiate which of your ads on which of your page, like if it was sidebar, then you could see which of those was actually most effective.
Yeah, because in Facebook you might find, oh, this ad gets tons of clicks. It's performing really well. And this ad doesn't get a lot of clicks. It's not performing very well. But then you get all the way down to your attribution mapping, and even though this ad got less clicks, you've ended up with more sales. And so you can get really narrow when you're looking at the ads platform. And we have a lot of Facebook campaigns where when we spin up the campaign, the ads perform super good, according to Facebook. So link click-through rate is 2 or 3%, right? Landing page conversion rate is 30, 40, 50%. And then customer feedback is, well, the discovery calls are all poor people. So, okay, that's fine. We have a messaging audience match on Facebook that happens to be poor people that don't actually close on the sales call. So when you just look over here in Facebook ads, you don't have that whole journey. So this is what that does. So it's not as complicated as it seems. It's just detailed.
It just means that you literally have to set up, you have to have the foresight again, which is why I was asking about it, because if you don't have those parameters set up, you can't actually fix that
You can't fix it in
issue
retrospect.
until you get on the call. And that's where so many people struggle with that gap between, like, we can get great Facebook ad conversions, great click-throughs, and impressions and all that jazz. But if we get on the call and we have the wrong demographic, you're never going to be closing the sales that you want to close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is gold.
Yeah.
This is total gold.
So, and like, don't be too like hung up on it, because like you don't want this to impede your action either. You need traffic through the system to inform you. So I would just be making a spreadsheet where you then have these sort of expanded layers, because like one campaign to 5 platforms to 5, so it's like it gets kind of big as you go that way. But once you've built it once, just keep your standards in place and just incrementally refine them over time.
Oh, that's great.
Because like at the end of the day, like I'm a Puritan sort of data. I like to go back and make sure data looks a certain way. And the unfortunate thing about this is like time marches on and you can't go back and clean it. And that's just one of those things you need to get over. Eventually the data falls outside of the time horizon you're looking at. And so when you're looking at 90-day reports, you might be like, fuck, I put the wrong UTM parameter. You just got to be like, okay, well, 90 days until I get to stop looking at it. And I mean, for the neurotic part of me, I have to be very reassuring. Like, it's fine, Alex, like, stop twitching. It'll, time marches on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. This tool is a godsend.